Next up, we have number 6 out of 9. So we have a team called, well, this is a pretty interesting one, Neun Chickens.
Yeah, hi. I'm Lasse from Neun Chickens, and I'm here to present to you our project, Arts of Sorcery. Arts of Sorcery is a 2D top-down action shooter built for mobile devices, but we have also planned to later on release it for computers. We have 2 different attack types, one which is a long-range attack type called Fireball, and one which is a short-range attack type, an AoE attack type called Energy Blast. We have also 3 different enemy types, one which is a slime, which is your basic grunt type of enemy. The plasma ball in the middle works as your ranged enemy type, and the big purple guy works as your heavy hitter and trapper. Our level generation works with random generation, and each level consists of 15 different rooms. You get from one room to the another by defeating all the enemies. We also have an item shop where you can increase your abilities with the coins that you get from defeating the enemies. We compare our games to Archero and The Binding of Isaac, for they are both dungeon crawling action shooters. Our target audience would be casual gamers that are 8 years and older. Our monetization would work with gems and an energy limit. And we have also planned to release a paid premium version for €3 approximately. The paid premium version would work in a way where you can totally skip the energy limit and play endlessly as much as you want. The gems are used to buy in-game currency and also more energy. This is our roadmap. We are soon done with the alpha release. We have been developing it actively for maybe 2.5 months. And once we get to the beta version, we have planned to add new enemy types, new boss battles, and new biomes, levels, etc. For the full release, we will look more into monetization, advertisements, and general laws regarding sales. This is our awesome team. We actually won the ICT Showroom certificate for best team effort this year. And I'm also a part of a business startup called Pre-Loved Coffee. So there are also some other, fields of studies people that I can get help from. For example, for advertisements. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
All right, as our Q&A section starts as well. Nice presentation, pretty interesting game as well. I wanted to ask, is this your first or how many game is this up to date?
Well, I would say maybe we could say 3, but the personal projects that we had during the fall cannot maybe be classified as real games. But
so they're like prototypes?
Yeah, it was a prototype, but we had a game course where we had teamwork also earlier this fall.
All right, okay. Jury, you got something on your mind?
Yes. Thank you so much for the pitch.
Thank you.
2 questions. First is about playtesting. Have you playtested this with externals?
Nope, not yet.
The more tougher question. So you defined the target audience being 8 plus. I see a lot of challenges with basically targeting at children.
8 years and older.
Yeah, but why 8 years and older?
Well, basically, it's an action game, but it doesn't have any graphic content, so to say. And kids, they play a lot of mobile games. For example, I don't see many kids I actually worked in a school before I started my studies for a half year. And guess what they did during their breaks, etc. They played video games with their phones.
Yeah,
So
but maybe to challenge, considering target audience is not only about the available audience, it's also about you considering how do you market the game, and then might be it's super that it's
I see.
accessible for young children and up, but might be wise to also consider the target audience in terms of when you actually go further with the launch and marketing.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you. I'm wondering that who is this your main character and where are we and so forth. I mean that I see there's a lot of potential, but you didn't tell so much about that. Is there a story or what is this game about?
Well, basically, as I said, we are not yet done with the alpha release, but our character is this wizard or sorcerer. And, well, he's basically there to defeat some monsters and get some coins, but later on, maybe we will add a story type of mode. We have definitely had some plans for it. That would also possibly help with the energy limit thingy going on. And we would also maybe have a sort of an endless or survival mode, so you can grind that and then you can move forward with the story, and there will be boss battles, of course, in the story mode. So
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, somehow I feel that I would love to know that who am I as a player and identify with this character and have some kind of purpose that why I want to kind of fight there and have this adventure. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I just want to add, I just don't want to. I have to have that. It makes the game somehow sensible. So add some kind of story. You don't have to smash it to the player's face, but you have to have the backstory there, and somehow bring it to the player. So it's interesting for me. Just going to the dungeon, killing monsters. I don't know why. Question is why.
Not sure if it's a question, but just a thought that you said that this game is casual, for casual audience, but then it's a twin joystick on a mobile phone. That kind of clashed to me with being casual. I think, like Sonia also said, you might think about your audience and kind of try to identify that what is your real audience. If you try to create something for everybody, then you will create nothing for nobody.
I had one question about your unique selling points. So what's the thing, you mentioned some reference games, so how do you plan to stand out of those, or in general, what makes your game unique for players?
Well, basically, the thing with our game is, I would at least personally think that it's a kind of you have, mashed together elements from The Binding of Isaac and Archero. So basically it's really scalable because you can just add new content very easily there. So we hope to have, this sort of a mobile type of, what's it called now? Well, implementing the similar things as in other mobile games where you can just add new content. Whereas in Binding of Isaac, for example, there's always new content, but it's in forms of DLCs, etc. So we want something a bit more difficult than Archero, but also something that works really well on the mobile devices for now.
All right, well, that's for the Q&A. Thank you for the presentation. Let's give a round of applause for our team, Neun Chickens.